What up, people? This is Vigilante, and my special guest today is Dr. Samori Swaggart, and we're going to talk about Black Revolution on delay. What up, Samori?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Let's get right down to the business. You know, we saw the video that Jada Pinkett put out, and her and Spike Lee and a few others want to boycott the Oscar awards, and you hear a lot of people supporting it and a lot of people getting on them about it. How do you feel about the situation?
One, I think, really, you have to start off by clarifying. A lot of people saying that they're focusing on the boycott, but they're missing the other message. There's a strong undercurrent, and there's also a very potent direct message that Jada Pinkett Smith was trying to convey to the masses. And she was saying, aside from even boycotting, the biggest thing that I took away from it was we need to create our own Black Hollywood, create our own film industry where we can show our talent and expertise in the performing arts. That was the big thing that I saw. And so my thing was, it's like some people say, oh, you know, well, you didn't speak about this earlier, you know, oh, Will didn't get nominated, or he's probably not going to get an award, so this is why you're coming out. And my thing is, whether that's the case or not, was the message correct? The message was correct.
No doubt.
Did it need to be said? And it needs to be said. Go ahead, brother. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And here's the thing, what I'm looking at. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. That's why I say the Black Revolution is on delay, because when somebody cranks up and get ready to go, then it's because of this reason. Like you say, I don't give a damn what the reason was, why she said it. Maybe she did it for selfish reason, but the talk has been said years and years ago. It's even back in the old days that there should be a Black Hollywood. The Black Wall Street mentality should take place. But what people are not seeing, that if she does this, the repercussions of her doing this, of Will doing this, should let us know that if we don't form a united front, no matter what the cause was, or her motive was, if we don't form a united front, let's say that Will does do this, let's say that Jada does do this, and they make their own thing, and they start to cost these big movie houses money, then they put their life in jeopardy. People think that this is something loosely, but when you mess up the structures, because the black spending dollar is powerful, so you take these two stars who are pretty big, and I don't care, this could be the spark we need. But yet, once again, in Black America, Samori, we can't even get unified on anything, because everybody wants to be the chief, but nobody wants to follow the direction that can help everybody out.
Right. It's kind of what you were saying before with the, like you were saying with the intellectual gangbanging. It's not a joke. It's a very serious matter. When you think about the inception of the film industry, for well over a century, you know, you're talking about the accumulation of wealth. You're talking about a mega multi-billion dollar industry that has been constructed. And even more so now, because there's various mediums of distribution of films. Like, you think about how much we patronize films, from just ticket purchases, movie downloads, DVD rentals, and all the, you know, Netflix and chilling. There is billions of dollars going in. And for Jada Pinkett Smith to step out and make such a bold statement and take such a potent stand, it is a threat to that industry, to that money right there. And so whenever you threaten that historical money, generational money like that, that's a threat. And so if we don't form a protective barrier or show support, like, listen, we really do support you, that's a risk for them. That is something that we really need to think about, other than just trying to, you know, intellectually gangbang. And it's like, you know, if she didn't say anything, right, people would have been like, oh, there's no diversity. We don't see enough African-American representation, ethnic representation, cultural representation of African-Americans and blacks inside the Oscars and the awards and the American Film Academy. Why aren't the African-American actors speaking up, right? Okay, so now we do speak up, and then when you speak up, you get shot right back down. So, I mean, that's a catch-22.
And that's the intellectual gangbanging right there. And who to say, Samori, that this right here happens to be Jada and Will rode to Damascus, so to speak, if I can use a Bible term, where okay, we ignored it, we did this. Paul in the Bible said, he was persecuting Christians, and on his journey to the road to Damascus, that's when they have a change of heart. Maybe this was theirs, where he said, you know what, we've been part of this system, and this system don't care about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure back in the days, bro, there was a few house, I'm not calling them that, but there was a few house Negroes that probably said, you know what? Not every house nigger, I said it, house nigger, stayed a house nigger. You feel me?
Right.
And I'm not calling them that, but I'm trying to make a point that not everybody that get caught up in the system stays that way. Some people have a change of heart, like the road to Damascus, and say, you know what? This is enough. We got enough money now. We got enough influence now where we can make a difference. So let's do it. Let's do it right now. And just, and Will was a part of the Grammy boycott back in the days when the Grammy was doing hip-hop wrong. You know what I'm saying? So he was a part of that before. So my thing is, man, but when every time we try to do something or say something, whoever it is that's black, we have opposition saying, here they go, what they talking about. Everybody want to be the super activist. If you ain't the super activist, then you have no say-so. And that's bull, because we all are black, and we all are active in this world where things happen to us. We can all tell our stories of discrimination and everything else. So if they can start this, add Spike Lee, then you can start building a foundation for Black Hollywood. Period.
Right. It's too much opposition from our own, and it's too much fear and reluctance on our own, by our own. Because if you think about it, this argument and this discussion, this dialogue that we're having right now, it's not even new when you think about it in perspective.
Yeah.
If you want to be historically correct about it, Harry Belafonte was talking about this decades ago. But have we had a Black Hollywood since then? No, we have not had a Black Hollywood since then.
Nope.
Why have we not had a Black Hollywood since then? Because we're too scared. We have too much opposition. Everybody wants to be the one. Everybody wants to be the hero. People cannot agree on everything. And so what I'm saying is, as African Americans, as blacks in America, it's time for us to put the ego aside, focus on the greater mission. What is the objective? And the objective is to now make sure that we control the medium, control the industry. We know that we have the talent, skill, ability, and expertise to put these movies out. It's giving them billions of dollars, but now we have to make sure that we can recycle that. We have to funnel that and siphon that back into our own communities, using our own skill, but we have to come together as one.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. And on top of that, man, the trickle down effect of that can come with, okay, now we got the athletes doing it. Now we got the, rappers doing it, actors doing it, businessmen doing it, because businessmen got the same fight. They're jockeying for position with the entrepreneurship and everything else too. You got that same fight there. You got the same fight with activists going up against each other. You got that same fight, but if we form a united front for the greater cause, then we all win. Because the thing is, what to me white supremacy has been doing is calling out bluff. They can sit back comfortably knowing that people are going to come out and speak against Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, and it ain't going to be their color. It's going to be their own color that speak out against them. So they can sit back and laugh and say, it ain't no threat for real, because you don't even have your people behind you. Nobody takes you seriously, so they're not going to take this boycott seriously. You know what I'm saying? And to be on top of it, we put Chris Rock. Chris Rock going to be our spokes. He's going to be the host. And Chris ain't going to turn that down. He's not gonna. And Chris gonna be like, and I love Chris. Don't get it twisted, but Chris going for the Oscar thing now. He's gonna be like, I'm not boycotting that pizza place. Those pizzas be good. Do the right thing. They already got Chris with commercials. So, and I'm not saying that you should make Chris boycott it, but the thing is, one of these days, man, I don't know how long. I told you our bluff has been called. I did a blog on are we running a race with no finish line? What is the finish line? What is the solution? Or are we more in love with talking about the things that happen to us? I told you, when I did the wine cooler versus moonshine, are we gonna get drunk or what? I'm tired of drinking wine coolers that's giving me a buzz. Let's get drunk in this revolution, y'all. Let's get embodied in it to make a stand because we got the money. And to me, there's no better time, Samari, and I'll let you have the last word. There's no better time to make a move than right now because some of our top athletes, actors, rappers, and businessmen are at the height of success and visual in a social media world where we got power and influence right now to really do it, because we can really do it right now, because when you look at the top things that's going on in America, whether it be athletes or music or things, black people at the forefront.
Right.
If not now, then never.
Yeah, we definitely have to do it now. Before we even go, before we close out, let's take it to another level. Let's press the elevator button and take it to the next level. To even be factually correct and to make sure that what we're saying is resonating with the people. In 1998, the American Film Academy, they actually made a compilation list of the top 100 films, American films, over 100 years in American film. They updated in 2007, right? So this is the top 100 films over 100 years. And it was ranked and it was compiled by 1,500 members of the American Film Academy, from cinematographers, from screenwriters, to directors, to producers and everything. Do you understand, out of 100 years, out of those 100 films, there were only 5 movies. Over 100 years, there were only 5 movies where blacks had starring roles. And you want to know what those movies were? Number 1 was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? That's with Sidney Poitier. And he's this black doctor that's trying to seek the hand in marriage of a white woman. So he has to appease and try to gain the approval of her family. Number 2, you had To Kill a Mockingbird, where you had this black man that was supposedly had raped this white girl.
Good book, too.
He relies on this a white lawyer to get him off. Number 3, Pulp Fiction. So you got Ving Rhames and what's my man, Samuel Jackson. So you got one guy that's end up ultimately getting raped. He's a gangster, ends up getting anally raped by 2 white guys, and you have Samuel Jackson that plays this, mythical angel that's also a gangster. He had Unforgiven, which was like Morgan Freeman. He's like some cowboy. And then you had Apocalypse, which was like a 17-year-old Lawrence Fishburne, and he's playing a soldier. So out of 100 years, and 100 films, you only have 5 films where you have blacks in starring roles, and then you look at the quality of the roles, and you're like, no, it's definitely time to take control of our image, and that's the important thing about it. We need to create an industry where, 1, we can make sure that blacks are really getting employed and paid for the full quality of their work and expertise and their skill. If you listen intently and closely to a lot of the black actors, they're tired of these stereotypical typecast roles, where they're either the supporting actor, or they're like some stand-in, or they're like the passerby in the crowd, or they're portrayed as the villain, they're the minstrel, or some subservient person, or they're the first person to be killed off in the movie, or they're like the helpless actor that has to be saved or has to be taught something, or they're always seeking inclusion or approval, and grown men wearing damn skirts. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, that stuff right there, we need to create an industry where we can properly portray our image, not only to the nation, but globally and to our children. This has a subliminal psychological and social impact, because once you start getting into the whole intricacies of it, when you watch a movie, you think about how subliminally you may be affected. When you start matching ethnicity and color to who's the hero, who's the villain, who's the protagonist, who's the antagonist, we could be heading towards a very dangerous situation, and we have to control our image. And then you also think about the fact that it's like you think of the historical inaccuracies when it comes to portrayals, where they did Exodus, Gods and Kings. When you think about the Ten Commandments, when you think about what they did with Cleopatra, so the historical inaccuracies are bad, and we need to make sure that we control our image on that. And then we can tell stories that are related to ourselves and that reflect our cultural contribution. So I don't think we need to rely on Hollywood to endorse, validate, co-sign, or acknowledge what we got going on. We just need to take time to build it, and it's not going to happen overnight. We have to get this instant microwave movement out of our head. It's going to take time. It's going to take commitment, dedication, but as long as we stay steadfast, we can do it. We just have to make sure that when we have the talent, we have the actors, we have the directors, we have the producers, screenwriters, cinematographers, and editors. So we just have to do it. And the solutions, I actually did an article, Vidge, a year ago talking about this, because this was something that was an issue before. And I was like, these were just simple solutions. They just have to be fleshed out, like, the details. But number one, take the top black film producers and directors and coalesce. Come together, create our own Hollywood. We already know about Spike Lee, John Singleton, Tyler Perry. There's a lot of good people out there. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Fuqua, I believe his name is. Just come together and actually see the importance and work towards that goal. Hire our black actors that act outside of typical Hollywood stereotypical roles. And employ the best authors and screenwriters and screenplay writers, so that it's like, we're coming up with good cultural content. Create our own awards and award show that show the pride in our heritage. Most important, create and control our own and new mediums of film distribution. That's the big thing. Distribution, because sometimes that's so hard. That's where they lock us out of a lot of our things, when we have good movies and stuff. But if you can't control the distribution, it's kind of like they got your distribution kidnapped and held hostage. And then the other thing is, construct our own movie theater chains, hire our black architects and engineers to build these movie theaters for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And then when we come out with our films, collect some of the proceeds and percentages from the revenue that's generated to replenish a lot of HBCUs and start our own black acting film schools. So we can have our own film schools and acting schools. So now we're building everything organically. So I know I got kind of verbose and energetic.
No. That's great solutions, because a lot of people on this site want to also hear us have solutions. They say, well, how they go, there's other black men up here talking about and complaining. No, we're coming with solutions. But when I hear all what you're saying, those are great solutions that we need to do. I'm going to have to put it on delay, man. Black Revolution delayed again because of ego, because everybody wants to be right instead of finding something. A guy told me one day, man, he said if more people came to the table with what they agreed on, we get a lot more done. But everybody coming to the table with what they disagree on. And that's been our problem. That's been our problem. We don't come to the table. We agree there's racism. We agree that the Oscars and these other places, MVP, you ain't going to tell me 2 years in a row that, I'm talking basketball now, that the guard, I can't think of the guard name for, when he used to play for Phoenix Sun, little white guard from Canada, averaging like 14 points a game, giving maybe 10 assists, beats Shaq and, Kobe for MVP, and he wins back-to-back MVP. Get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? So all those different things, that comes to play, and we can't even come to the table to understand that there is an agreement that we are being did wrong. There's an agreement that no matter how much money you got, you will still be proved. Put away. You'll still be shown that you are a second-class citizen. At the end of the day, no different than what they told Kanye about the clothing line and stuff like that. And the distribution, the distributors with the fashion world. If you don't care how much money you got, they don't want you in, you can't get in. And if you do get in, you got to go under somebody. And, so it's time. But once again, I'm going to push the button again, Samari. Well, Black Revolution on delay. Until, TBA, to be announced. I don't know, bro. so that's where it'll be, man. But I thank you for coming on, man. Of course, we're gonna talk about some other things, man. Let's see what the people on Voice Page have to say about this, because the girl from the lady from Will Smith, what is it, Fresh Prince, Viv. She played Aunt Viv. Anything. She had a problem. I understand what she was saying, and she's talking about, if he really wanted to do something, he should have did it back then when when they were trying to make a move to get more money. And once again, I'm not even disagreeing with what she said, but everybody got their road to Damascus, and maybe this is the time. So instead of talking about the past, let's get on to see what they're going to do. And matter of fact, make them prove what they say. You feel me?
Right.
That's how, before we criticize, let's see what they do. Let's see how they move from this point on. But if you tear them down before you even get a chance to see what they're going to do, and to me, shut the hell up.
Right.
Shut the hell up.
We can start if you're a fledgling young black film producer or something. Hey, shoot your stuff to them. See how they respond.
Exactly. Let's see how they respond before you judge them. See how they respond. Maybe let's get it started, because it takes a spark to make an inferno, and sadly, everybody wants the inferno to happen before the spark. It just can't happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah, not overnight, man. All right, man. Thanks for coming. You can also reach Doc Swag on Twitter at Doc Swag with 2 G's. 06, right? On Twitter.
That's right. 06.
Right there. Yeah, so check it out. You also catch me, Vigilante, on Twitter, VIGALANTEE. We out, and like I say, we're going to continue to talk about other things like this, man. I'm glad to have you on, man. Peace, my brother.
All right, peace. Pleasure.